I think Lahore is a city with literally millennia of culture and history, maybe one of the highest talent densities in the region, amazing infrastructure, um, a vibrant, bustling community. So, those are all the reasons why people should consider Lahore to be their next destination when it comes to building technology, when it comes to doing entrepreneurship. It checks so many boxes that it's a no-brainer. Hi, my name is Yasser Bashir. I'm the CEO founder of Arbisoft, which is a company that we set up nearly 18 years ago. Up until high school, I was in a smaller town in Punjab, and I moved to Lahore when I started Government College University. Right, so I went for my higher secondary education to GCU, and it was really transformative for me because GCU has such a rich history, right? More than 100 years old college. So many great people have been to that college, and so just being in that environment and in that place meant a lot to me. And then I just got really fortunate that throughout my academic career, I got to be at places which were known to be centers of excellence when it comes to education. Government College being one of them. I briefly went to UET, then I went to LUMS. All of these places are really the hallmarks of excellence when it comes to education in Pakistan. And so for me personally, spending most of my youth and academic years in Lahore was really a transformative experience, and I could not have imagined a better education for myself anywhere else. I consider myself to be a veteran of the software industry in Lahore. I started my career with a company called WorldWorks, which was an offshoot of Crestsoft. And Crestsoft I consider to be the OG of the software development industry in Pakistan. This was the first large company providing software development services to customers in North America back in the late 90s. So I have been a part of this journey since almost the very beginning. And I think that, we have really evolved as an industry in Lahore. We used to be a handful of small companies, small and medium-sized companies. Now there are literally hundreds, if not thousands of companies operating out of Lahore. The critical mass has been achieved. And it's a, bustling, very energetic, very bright community that you want to be a part of. And so I've seen that transition along the way. The whole startup and entrepreneurship movement happened as well. So now you see a lot of tech companies in Lahore, which are pure product companies and which are building products, along with the service companies that have been around for a long time. Many of those service companies used to be small, but now they have reached a scale where they can really start having global ambitions, aspirations to be dominant in certain areas and fields. So there are lots of inspiring companies in Lahore that personally inspire me, both in the product domain and in the services domain. I have been a very active part of the entrepreneurship startup ecosystem as well, and have personally invested in companies also. One of my favorite investments is a company called PostX, which is really transforming how e-commerce deliveries, not just in Pakistan, but in the region, are happening. I'm a huge fan of this company called LAM, which is changing the face of online fashion retail. Both of these companies have also been backed by Endeavor, which we all know as a global powerhouse when it comes to backing impact-based companies. In the services sector, there are great examples. Over the past few years, Systems has been a great company to follow and watch. Their growth has been very impressive. They are now market leaders in some narrow verticals in the region. Arbisoft itself has grown to more than 1,000 people, and we really compete with the best in the world for the very narrow verticals that we specialize in and often come out on top. There's also great gaming studios in Lahore, companies like GameStorm, Mindstorm Studios, etc. So a lot of exciting things happening both in the services and in the product space when it comes to technology. I think in terms of infrastructure, we regularly invite our customers to come visit us in Lahore, and invariably, I'm not exaggerating, invariably every single one of them is completely blown away, amazed by how amazing Lahore's infrastructure is. There are so many signal-free corridors that allow you to get from one place to another like really, really quickly. There's great public transport. In terms of the infrastructure that facilitates you in building tech, there are great incubators, there are co-working spaces that have mushroomed over the last 10 years, and some of them are really amazing. So I think invariably our visitors to Lahore find, who have never been to Lahore before, find that the infrastructure far exceeds what they expected from, let's say, a city in the global south. People also, I think, don't realize what a rich cultural history Lahore has. There are 3,000 shrines in Lahore, and many of them are more than 1,000 years old. There are forts and mosques which are, you all know, hundreds of years old. So that's another thing that surprises visitors when we bring them to Lahore, that it has such a rich culture and history, and it is a city that has been around for literally thousands of years. And all of that, I think, paves the way for really great talent that feels pride in its culture and history, and all of that plays into making Lahore a really amazing city. So one thing that I've noticed in these new generations, I'm Gen X, but Gen Y and then Gen Alpha, their hunger to make a difference very, very quickly is very different from our generation. So they want to do things very, very quickly and get to results very fast. And I think that brings a lot of new energy to the whole climate around technology and startups and entrepreneurship. I think that's the main reason that a lot of people like myself, when we thought of starting companies, we looked at Lahore as a possible option. Of course, we grew up here as well, and we knew the city and had our networks here also. That really helps. But if someone were to start completely from scratch and just choosing a random city from all over Pakistan, I think Lahore would be the ideal choice, because no other city in Pakistan offers the kind of talent density that Lahore offers. So in the next 10 years, I think a lot of our startups hopefully become successful, go to their series B, C, D, and then do their exits. That's definitely something that I see happening in the next 10 years. I also think that a lot of our service companies they have prepared kind of the platform for takeoff, and they will take off to be globally relevant and big and important to compete with similar outfits elsewhere in the world. So the next 10 years, I expect that there will be a phase of really explosive growth, both for our service companies and our product companies. And I think entrepreneurship and technology will flourish. And we have done a lot of hard work in the last few decades, and I think the next decade is going to be the time that we reap the benefits of all of the hard work that we put in the last few decades.